Sri Valmiki Ramayana is a timeless classic that has been continuing for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And Prabhupada said it's like not just scriptures, like a ripened fruit. And it doesn't matter where you bite that fruit, it will taste sweet. So the Ramayana, composed of 20,000 verses, grouped into 6 kandas, is a fascinating story of Sri Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, Hanuman and their wonderful associates. Tonight, we will go to one of my favorite kandas called the Sundara Kanda. And in the Sundara Kanda, we will get to know what I would like to call the best kept secret. We are coming in from doing other things during the day. Obviously, it's easy to perhaps get distracted or takes time to settle down. The body may be here, but the mind follows slowly and at its own pace. So we'd love for you to do a couple of things. Get comfortable. Try and be conscious that you are here to hear about the wonderful qualities of Sri Ramachandra and his associates. We are sitting in the presence of Srila Prabhupada, which is not an ordinary thing. And that we, in our minds, make in Sanskrit we call it sankalpa, in English we call it an intention. May the intention be that, my dear Srila Prabhupada, please inspire us that we can feel a sense of closeness with Sri Sita, Rama, Lakshmana and Hanuman. We want to be able to step a little closer in our relationship with them, and kindly bless us that it may happen so. And for this to happen, it requires for all of us to participate and try and minimize our conversations on the side. It's not that I'm not asking you to, but if you do, then it disturbs you and disturbs the person sitting around you. And we all have this wonderful device. And this wonderful device sometimes needs a little rest. So kindly turn it off or put it in vibrate mode. The only people who can keep it on the ringer mode are women who are pregnant, or if you're a doctor. Otherwise, I bet you no one's really trying to call you at this point. We will take our entry into Sundara Kanda by first invoking the blessings of our gurus, Srila Prabhupada, the great acharyas, of course, the divine couple Sita and Ramachandra, and their lovely servants Lakshmana and Hanumanji.
तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्दा श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्दा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। पूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदा लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्।
The Ramayana is considered to be a fast flowing river that is born on the mountain called Valmiki and rushing towards the ocean called Sri Rama, and along the way purifies and makes every tract of land around it fully fertile, verdant, happy and rich. Similarly, we want to be able to take a bath in such a river called Ramayana, which is what we're going to do today. And for such a river, it is said that wherever, that's the verse right behind me and which we will also sing, wherever, in whichever part of the universe, Sri Ram Katha is spoken, it is said that Hanuman, who's the greatest of warriors, very powerful, yet becomes completely meek, sits with his hands to his head like this, and with every word of Ramayana that he hears, tears are flowing down his cheeks with great joy and love to hear about Sri Rama.
देहि सहितं सुरद्रुमथले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परम् व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिव्रतं रामं भजे श्यामलं रामं भजे श्यामलं रामं भजे श्यामलं यः कर्णाञ्जलि सम्पुटैरहरः सम्यक्पिबन्द्यादरात् वाल्मीकेर्वदनारविन्दगलितं रामायणाख्यं मधुः जन्मव्याधि जराविपत्ति मरणैरत्यन्तसोपद्रवम् संसार सविहाय गच्छति पुमान् विष्णोपदं शाश्वतम् विष्णोपदं शाश्वतम् विष्णोपदं शाश्वतम्.
These two verses are called Dhyana Shloka. That I worship the dark complexioned Sri Ramachandra, Ramam Bhaje Shamalam, who is sitting with Sita Devi, Vaidehi Sahitam, Surad Drumatale, under the shade of the Parijata tree. And this Parijata tree is situated in a very large golden hall or auditorium, if you want, mandapam. And they are seated on a throne that is full or decorated with bright, fragrant flowers. And also decorated with a variety of gems, rubies, pearls, emeralds, diamonds, sapphires. And while they are seated, right in front of them is Sri Hanuman. And the word uses Vachayati Prabhanjana Sute. Vachayati means is being inspired to speak. Who is inspiring Hanuman to speak? Sri Ramachandra. And so Ramachandra asks him to speak on the different topics of the Vedas. And all the sages from the universe have gathered there. Bharatadibihi parivratam. They are surrounding Sita and Ramachandra while Hanuman is reciting, and they are all eager to know the very, very subtle truths from these Vedic teachings. And Ramachandra is explaining them to the rishis. And the rishis are taking notes. And then it says, anybody, if they fold their palms this way or hands this way, Karananjali Samputa. Samputa means like this, but like the Samputa. And Ahar, day after day, they drink Samputa. They drink with these palms the words, the honey emanating from Valmiki. Valmiki Vadana Ravinda Galitam. Galitam ripened. When they drink that honey called Ramayana from their ears eagerly and with respect, Adarat, something happens. He says all of one's problems, Janma, birth, Mrityu, Vyadhi, disease, Jara, old age, Vipatti, difficulties or distresses on one's path. Maranair, death. Atyantah swa upadravam. Upadravam is in the middle of all of these difficulties, a person is constantly disturbed. Such a person, by drinking the nectar of Ramayana, samsara vihaya gacchati, leaves this world of repeated birth and death. More importantly, Vishnu Padam Shashvatam, and eternally rests either at the feet of Lord Vishnu or eternally rests in the abode of Lord Vishnu. That is the power of the words of Sri Valmiki Rishi. And today we're all getting that opportunity to hear what Valmiki Rishi has given all of us. So what is unique about Ramayana? Ramayana is the embodiment of all the Vedic teachings. Sri Ramachandra, along with Sita, Lakshmana and Hanuman, said, we will go and advent on the earthly realm and mix among common people for their benefit, because when they see us, when they hear about us, when they interact with us, when they serve us, their life will become so uplifted. Let us go. At that time, the Vedas, they said, oh my Lord, if you go down to the earthly realm, we also want to go with you. We want to take birth on the earth as well. And the Vedas became Ramayana. And this was revealed by one of the greatest personalities called Valmiki. And Valmiki received a blessing. And you will hear those two verses in a moment. Valmiki received a blessing. Lord Brahma personally appeared in front of Valmiki and said, Valmiki Rishi, the Ramayana that you compose will not be forgotten in this world. It will exist as long as mountains and rivers exist in this world. Yavat sthasayati girayaha saritascha mahitale tavat Ramayana katha lokeshu pracharishyati. For that long, the katha of Ramayana will be spoken among humanity. That means it will always have an eternal existence.
वेद वेदे परे पुंसी जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदः प्रचेतसा दासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना यावत् स्थास्यन्ति गिरयः सरिताश्च महीतले प्रचरेष्यति.
We will enter Lanka. Although Lanka is very opulent, the entire city or kingdom is built with gold. There are exquisite gems studded in the walls, floors. Every little thing is so ornate. Everybody is rejoicing on the lap of luxury. They're all rolling and wallowing in that opulence, except one person. Who's that one person? Sita Devi. And this Sita Devi, while she is there, this whole section is called Sundara Kanda. So one may wonder that if Sita Devi is piteously crying, which we will see in a few minutes. She's crying, she's sad, she's separated from Ramachandra, and yet this Kanda is called Sundara Kanda. Sundara generally means beautiful. So what is it that is beautiful about Sundara Kanda, that anybody who speaks about Ramayana speaks and enjoys and relishes Sundara Kanda? So there is a verse that tells us what is beautiful in Sundara Kanda.
Sundare Sundaro Rama, Sundare Sundari Katha, Sundare Sundaro Rama, Sundare Sundari Katha, Sundare Sundari Sita, Sundare Sundaram Vanam, Sundare Sundari Sita, Sundare Sundaram Vanam, Sundare Sundaram Kavyam, Sundare Sundara Kapihi, Sundare Sundaram Kavyam, Sundare Sundara Kapihi, Sundare Sundaram Mantram, Sundare Kimna Sundaram, Sundare Sundaram Mantram, Sundare Kimna Sundaram.
Sundare Sundaro Ramaha. Sri Ramachandra is very, very beautiful, handsome, but he's not there in the Sundara Kanda. So it says Sundare Sundaro Ramaha. So where is Ramachandra in Sundara Kanda? Where is Ramachandra? He is fully blossoming and glowing in the heart of Sita Devi. Sundare Sundari Katha. The story is exquisite. Although it is sad or saddening, but when we hear about Hanuman, we read about Hanuman coming to meet Sita Devi, giving her the message, returning back with the joyful message that he found Sita, is wonderful story. And we will find out why that story is relevant to all of us. Sundare Sundari Sita. In the next couple of verses, we will be introduced to Sita Devi in Lanka. And you will not find anything beautiful on a physical realm at all. But Sita is Sundari in this context because her heart is completely given to Sri Ramachandra. Although she is in the midst of all opulence, varieties of enjoyments, fruits of varieties we could never have heard of, flowers of varieties we've never seen or imagined, birds, bees, trees, gardens, pools, fountains, mountains, attendants, very good looking people, golden houses, skyscrapers. Yet she has no interest or taste for any of it. Her only interest is in Shri Rama. Sundare Sundaram Vanam. When Hanuman first sees Lanka, he is shocked. Wow, so beautiful. I've never seen something so exquisite. And there's volumes and volumes of description of all the varieties of things in Lanka. Sundare Sundaram Kavyam. That poetry that Valmiki has written, especially in the Sundara Kanda, will melt our hearts away. And we will get to see a little glimpse of it as it comes up. Sundare Sundara Kapihi. Generally, Vanaras are not considered good looking. But Hanuman is the most good looking servant of Lord Ramachandra because he is filled with constant thinking of Sri Ramachandra's service. But there is a difference. Until he met Sita and after he met Sita Devi, there is a change in his bhakti. Sundare Sundaram Mantram. The entire Sundara Kanda, if you consider, is one mantra. That mantra of how to win back what you have lost. And I'll explain in a moment. And then he says, Sundare kim na sundaram. What is there in Sundara Kanda that is not beautiful? From starting to end, it is nothing but beautiful. One of the meanings of Sundara, of course, is beauty or beautiful. But there is a definition as well. Nashtha labha parikirtitaha sundara iti. That when you recover something or someone you've lost, then that event is called Sundara. Of course, there are 9 different meanings. I don't have the time for it today. But definition-wise, Sundara means to revive and reclaim what one has lost. So, Sri Ramachandra lost the company of Sita Devi. Sita Devi lost the company of Sri Ramachandra. We're all sitting here. If you tap your pocket to check if your phone is there, it's there. We may not be aware of what things we may have lost. Some of us may have lost some money in the last few days when the stock market went into a whole different direction. But that money will come back. But some of us may not some of us. In this world, living beings are not aware of what they have lost. But by studying Sundara Kanda, we will generate within us the ardent desire to recover what we have lost. And that is our relationship with Sri Rama. Therefore, Sundara Kanda is very beautiful. So in Lanka, Hanuman has been searching everywhere and he has not found Sita. And he almost becomes disappointed. And then he prays to Sita Devi. He prays to Sri Rama and Lakshmana. And suddenly an opportunity arises that, hey, this is one section I have not seen. And he enters that area. That is the Ashoka Vana. And in Ashoka Vana, in the middle of all sorts of opulence, this was Ravana's prized possession inside his very amazing city of Lanka. It was his favorite garden. So you can imagine the opulence that must be there. But I can also say, we can't imagine the opulence that must be there. How can we know what Lanka looks like for Ravana? In that is this special garden where under a Simshupa tree, there is one woman who's sitting down, her face looking to the ground and crying. And the pitiable condition that Hanuman sees her in, his heart sinks. And we will hear what Valmiki tells us, how Hanuman, this is the first time he sees Sita. There is something very exquisite in these personalities. In the Bhagavad Gita, the very first introduction to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is that he is a menial chariot driver for Arjuna. Who introduces God as a driver, a chauffeur? He introduces himself that way. Sita Devi introduces herself to Hanuman in this particular way. He is seeing her and this is what he sees.
ततो मलिनसंवीतां राक्षसिभिः समावृताम् उपवासकृशां दीनां निःश्वसन्तीं पुनः पुनः ददर्श शुक्लपक्ष आदौ चन्द्ररेखाम् इव मलपङ्खधरां दीनां मण्डन अर्हाममण्डितां प्रभां नक्षत्र राजस्य कालमेघैव आवृताम्.
Tata, at that time, that goddess who should be decorated in all varieties of the finest of jewelries and the finest of costumes. He says, Mandana Arham means the she is eligible for being decorated in the most exquisite ways. Earlier today we heard when she came and stood in front of Sri Ramachandra how she was dressed. She was so bright and effulgent that Ramachandra could not even find out where Sita is. She was dazzling. That dazzling Sita Devi is seated under a tree, and Hanuman says, Valmiki tells us, Hanuman saw tato malina samvitam. Samvitam is one piece of cloth. Malina, it was full of dirt and dust, which means she has been lying down on the ground. Upavasa Krisham. Some of us are fasting today. At least I'm drinking some water. Some other persons must have eaten. You're fasting for one day. Sita Devi has been fasting for 10 months. No water, no food. Simply breathing and with every breath saying Rama, Rama, Rama. Upavasa Krusham. Krusham, she looks very weakened. Deenam. And this is the word you will hear again and again and again in this. Deenam, helpless, pitiful. Nishwasantihi. Swasa means to breathe. Nishwasa means to exhale. Oh, Rama, Rama. That's all she's saying. Dadarsa Shukla Paksham Eva. To Hanuman, she looked like the moon on the very first day of Shukla Paksha. After Amavasya, all you see is a very thin line of the moon. Although we know it is the full moon, but it is covered. So you see only a tiny crescent or a very slim crescent. Chandra Rekham Eva. She looked so beautiful even then. And Valmiki says, Amalam, pure. He started the shloka with Tato Malina. Although she was all covered with dust, Amalam, she was pure. After Amavasya, the moon is very, very pure. Malapanka Dharam. Her clothes are all tattered, dusty, dirty. She's been rolling on the ground. She's been crying. Prabham Nakshatra Raja Iva. Who's the king of all the stars? The moon. And she looked like the moon that has been covered by a dark cloud. This dark cloud is Ravana. And he has covered, by capturing her there, he has covered her beauty. So she's not exuding that lovely, beautiful countenance that she has. So Hanuman tries to speak to her. She's scared because in 10 months no one has spoken to her nicely. In fact, no one has spoken to her. Only Ravana comes every day and tells her why she should become his wife. And she's been rejecting him. Hanuman says she's been surrounded by Rakshasis. Rakshashibhi sabhavritam. And in the middle of that, Hanuman, who's very, very tiny, Valmiki says in the size of a cat, hiding between the leaves of the Shimshupa tree, comes down to make some contact with her. And as soon as he says something, she steps back because she does not know if this is Ravana. Previously, Ravana was in a disguise and she fell for it. So right now, she does not know who this monkey is. What is a Vanara doing here? So he tries in different ways to speak with her. Finally, he narrates the entire Ramayana up to that point, and the point from which she does not know what happened after she was kidnapped. So slowly she warms up to the idea that perhaps this person has come on behalf of Ramachandra, but she's not really sure. She's still looking at the Google reviews to make sure, do I sign up or not? So Hanuman tells her who he is.
वानरोऽहं महाभागे दूतो रामस्य धीमतः रामनामाङ्कितं चेदं पश्य देव्यं गुलीयकं वानरोऽहं महाभागे दूतो रामस्य धीमतः रामनामाङ्कितं चेदं पश्य देव्यं गुलीयकं प्रत्ययार्थं तवानितं तेन दत्तं महात्मना समाश्वसिः भद्रं ते क्षीणदुःखफलाह्यसि.
O Sita Devi, Bhadram te, may all auspiciousness come to you. Vanaroham, I am a Vanara. Vanara? And then he says, Duto Ramasya Dhimata. I am the messenger of that very, very intelligent Sri Ramachandra. Rama Namankitam cha idam. I have brought something for you that has the name of Rama inscribed in it. Anguliyakam. It's the ring that he has given. Pashya. Please look at it. Samashvasahi. Please become confident. Please become pacified. That from now on, dukkha phalaha, all the fruits of your sadness will go away. Kshina. I have come on this particular project to come and give you this message. So Hanuman uses the word Dhimata for Lord Ramachandra. Hanuman is called the most intelligent among all beings, right? Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam. Among all the intelligent beings, Varishtam, he is the best. And such a person is saying, Rama is Dhimata. That means there must be some reason why he sent me to you. Among all the Vanaras that are possible. So our Acharyas give us a backdoor secret. When Hanuman first met Rama and saw that such a towering personality, powerful arm, soul, strong, carrying bows and arrows, but daily crying, Sita, 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 Sita. It's like, what kind of a Kshatriya is he? Crying for his wife when he can have any number of wives that he wants. His father has 365. He can also have another wife. What is so special about Sita that he is crying? So when the search party was going out, Ramachandra walks up to Hanuman and says, here is a ring. When you meet Sita, please give it to her. What happens we'll see later, but there is something about Hanuman's thinking. Ramachandra is very intelligent. There must be some message I have to learn from this. Aham Vanara Ramasya Dutam. You may think that I'm just an ordinary Vanara, monkey. But I'm actually the son of Kesari, but the messenger of Ramachandra. That's the most important thing. So for any of us, it doesn't matter who we are, what family we come from, what educational qualification we may have or not have, what opulence we may have or not have, what strength we may have or not have, what eloquence we may have or not have. But if Ramachandra says to us, pass on this message, then that itself is the greatest glory. On behalf of Sri Ramachandra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and told all of us, Jare dekhe tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. Each one of you, I am empowering you to please convey the message of Krishna to every being in this universe. So I may be Vanara, but I am Ramaduta. Rama Nama Ankitam Anguliyakam. I have brought that which has the name of Rama inscribed on it. Hanuman, in this context, is playing the role of a guru. Sita Devi is playing the role of a jiva, living being like us, entrapped in Lanka. This body is Lanka. It has, the ruler of it is Ravana, the mind, that has 10 heads, the 5 karmendriyas and the 5 jnanendriyas, and rules over this Lanka that is an island in the middle of the ocean of birth and death. So we are all Sitas, separated from Sri Rama. And such a messenger, Sri Guru, appears with the name of Sri Rama to give us that name, so we may become united back with Sri Ramachandra. And the ring he brought is to remind her that previously, because of that ring, there were many, many loving pastimes between them, which we will reveal slowly to you. And Hanuman says, Pashya, please look. It's an important word. Many pictures show us Hanuman giving the ring to Sita. This is not a correct depiction. He did not give. The word used is Tena Dattam. That which Rama gave, Anitam, I have brought. And he says Pashya, so with his palms like this, he is showing her the ring. So that in all circumstances, even if Sita Devi is wearing one piece of cloth that is full of dirt, even then her hand will be higher than Hanuman's hand. Because Sita Devi is Lakshmi, who's always the giver, never the taker. So Sita's hand can never be like this. It is always like this. And Hanuman as a servant, even in this situation, he is so intelligent that he brings the ring and says, Pashya Devi Anguliyakam. He is very clear. He is the servant. And so, Sita Devi looks at it. Just the way each one of us receives the holy name and makes our life a little purer, stronger, and strongly connected to the Supreme Lord, Hanuman has brought and said, from now on, please be confident, pratyaya. One of the symptoms of bhakti is to become confident in the protection of the Lord. That whatever happens, avashya rakshashite, He will always come to my rescue. As a general meditation, some of us a few years ago were going through difficulties like any one of us goes through, and few of us took it upon ourselves to make it a meditation to daily think of Krishna, of the name, one who never fails his devotees. What is that name? Arjuna tells him in the beginning. Achyuta. Achyuta means one who never fails. So there is never a story ever in history, past millions of years, thousands of years, hundreds of years ago, tens of years ago, today or in the future, that Krishna or Rama have ever failed their devotees. There shall never be a story like that. There's never such an incident either. And he gives her confidence by the word he at the end. He. It will be for sure all your bad days are ended from this point onwards. So Sita takes the ring from Hanuman's hands and looks at that ring. And as soon as she looks at that ring, her heart swells with love. What does she experience?
गृहीत्वा प्रेक्षमाणा सा भर्तुकरविभूषणम् गृहीत्वा प्रेक्षमाणा सा भर्तुकरविभूषणम् भर्तारमिव सम्प्राप्ता जानकी मुदिता भवत् चारु तद्वदनं तस्यात् ताम्रशुक्ल आयत ईक्षणं चारु तद्वदनं तस्यास् ताम्रशुक्ल आयत ईक्षणम् अशोभत विशालाक्ष्यां राहुमुक्त इवोदुरात्.
Grihitva. She took the ring from his hand. Prekshamana. Ikshamana means to look. Prekshamana means to examine it. Something so dear you can't just take. You will take in every little detail of that ring. So she is looking at it, and Valmiki says, Janaki mudita abhavat. For 10 months she has not seen even an atomic fraction of joy. And suddenly her heart is swelling with happiness. Janaki mudita bhavat. And she felt by looking at the ring, bhartaram iva samprapta, as if Ramachandra has now come and standing in front of her. Because the holy name and the named are non-different. However, the holy name is more powerful than the personality, because Rama is in Kishkindha, Ramanama is in Lanka with Sita Devi. So Janaki felt, Sri Ramachandra is standing right here, and suddenly from this Deena condition, her face, Valmiki says, Charu tad vadanam, her face turned beautiful. For the first time there was a smile on her face, and in her eyes that had become reddened by crying and crying and crying, suddenly the eyes became big. Ashobhata Vishalakshi, Vishala, her eyes became so big out of joy. Rahu Mukta Iva Udarat. We heard previously that the Megha, the dark cloud, had covered that moon, and suddenly she looked like the full moon that was released by Rahu. You see the beauty? How the feelings and emotions are being conveyed by Valmiki for us. She blossomed and shone like the full moon that was released by Rahu. Now Valmiki uses the word Grihitva Pekshamana Sa Bhartu Karavibhushanam. Previously Hanuman said Anguliyakam. Anguliyakam is a ring. Karavibhushanam is a bangle. So how did the ring become the bangle? When Sita saw that ring, her mind went to her loving husband Sri Ramachandra, and she thought, I have been fasting, crying, not sleeping. My Ramachandra must also be like that. He must not have eaten. And by not eating, he must have become so thin and frail that the ring that used to fit on the finger now fits on the wrist. My Ramachandra, what condition he must be in. In her eyes, Valmiki says, there is a little reddishness that has appeared now. Previously it was because of crying. Now the new reddishness is because in her heart some love has awakened. Red is a color of love. That is why Srimati Radharani wears red colored dress, because she is the embodiment of love. Her face became charming. Ashobhata. Shobhata became decorated with a sense of joy. Her cheeks started to become reddish. And Ravana is this Rahu that got released. Similarly, as soon as the jiva receives the holy name from the Guru, These are the symptoms that are meant to arise. A sense of joy, a sense of happiness, hope, something to look forward to in this dark, really not such a hospitable world. What does Krishna say about this world that he created? Ashashvatam Dukkhalayam. I am from Mumbai. Anyone from Mumbai here? Okay. We all have either experienced or seen videos of how people get into a train in Mumbai. It is like the crushing of sugarcane by the time you enter the train. So when you're entering the train, there's so much of crushing and pushing and shoving, and in the middle of it, if you find a place near the window, the joy that you get is the closest I can tell you about what Sita Devi is feeling. That in the middle of Ravana and his Rakshasas tormenting her, there is one ring that gives her so much hope. So then, she has been fasting, she's been tired. She asks Hanuman, "You seen my condition? Does Rama miss me? Does he even think of me? Or is he one of those Kshatriyas that maybe is thinking of getting another wife?" Some of us may have this question. I'm praying, I'm fasting, I've been chanting Hare Krishna, I've also been flipping through Prabhupada's books, I've been doing Bhakti Vrikshas, I'm doing Seva during Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima, Ramanavami. Does the Lord even think of me? And I'm sure we have this question. I'm doing so much Seva, does he think of me? We want to know. As Arnab Goswami says, the world wants to know. We want to know. Does the Lord think of us? Does he see me? I'm just one tiny being in such big creation. Does he even think of me? So Hanuman tells Sita Devi, "Oh, you want to know what is the condition of Rama? Here it is." This is a tear jerker, so please be ready.
न एव दंशान्न मशकान् न कीटान् न सरीसृपान् न एव दंशान्न मशकान् न कीटान् न सरीसृपान् राघवो अपनयेद्गात्रा वर्धतेन अन्तरात्मना नित्यं ध्यानपरो रामो नित्यं शोकपरायणः नित्यं ध्यानपरो रामो नित्यं शोकपरायणः नान्यचिन्तयते किञ्चित् स तु कामवशान् गतः.
Sri Ramachandra is sitting like this. We all know this experience. Na eva damshan. When a mosquito sits on us, what do? Just by reflex, even without thinking about it. Or a fly sits somewhere. We are talking to someone, we just go. So he says for Ramachandra, he's so much lost in the thoughts of you that when mosquitoes sit on him and bite, he does not shoo them away. When flies sit on him, he doesn't do anything. Na Keetan, insects are crawling on him. What insects? Centipedes. We see a centipede there and we're all freaked out. But that centipede is crawling on him and is not bothered by it. Not only centipedes, snakes are crawling on him and he doesn't even move them away or push them away. Na Mashakan, na Damshan, na Keetan, na Sarishtrapan, Raghavo Apanayed Gatra. Why? Tvad Gatena Antaratmana. His mind is completely absorbed in you. Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita, what kind of yogi is the dearest to him? Yoginam api sarvesham mad gatena antaratmana. Shraddhavan yo bhajate mam same yukta tamo mataha. So for the devotee, he is asking that their mind should be antaratmana. But his mind is also deeply absorbed in Sita Devi. Tvad gatena antaratmana. Nityam dhyana paro. He's just sitting like that as if lost in some thoughts. Nityam shoka parayana. He's so sad and sorrowful that he's constantly crying in your memory. Na anyat chintayate kinchit. Not even a little a thought of something else. Why? Kama vasham gataha. He's so much absorbed in his love for you that he doesn't even know if he's breathing, almost like that. He's so lost in you. Sita's very touched. Oh, my Ramachandra. Hanuman, I want to meet my Rama. I want to meet my Rama. Yes, please come with me. I am a Vanara. I can take you. She looks at him and says, you are so small. What do you mean you can take me? Hanuman says, don't. And she asks him, is this just monkey talk? He says, what? Manifests such a gigantic form for her and says, look at me, Sita Devi. You can sit on my back and immediately we can be with Ramachandra. Any one of us would say, yeah, let's go. I want to be rid of this world. She says, no, Hanuman. You are some other man. How can I touch you? I am like your son, Mata. Yes, but even if I sit on your back, you fly with such speed, I may get scared, I may fall off. Oh no, I will protect you. What if the Rakshasas come to fight? One hand you'll be fighting with them and the other hand you might protect me, and down in the ocean are sharks and crocodiles and very, very powerful beings. I'll fall and die. No, Hanuman, I cannot go with you. I cannot go. But more importantly, my reason is that for eternity people will say, Ramachandra, what kind of a man is he that he cannot protect his own wife? I want the glory to go for Ramachandra. Selfless, very selfless. I want the glory to be for Ramachandra. I want him to come here, take care of Ravana, and I will happily go with him. So I cannot go with you. So Hanuman said, I tried to convince you. If you can't come, I will go back now. Is there something you can give me in return? So when I tell Ramachandra, I met you, he will say, what's the proof? And if I don't have proof, how will he trust me? He will go into even sadder state of being. He will become so shattered that I should take something so it gives him hope.
यदि न उत्सहसे यातुं मया सार्धमनिन्दिते यदि न उत्सहसे यातुं मया सार्धमनिन्दिते अभिज्ञानं प्रयच्छत्वं जानीयात् राघवो हि यत् अभिज्ञानं प्रयच्छत्वं जानीयात् राघवो हि यत् एवं उक्ता हनुमता सीता सुरसुतोपमा एवं उक्ता हनुमता सीता सुरसुतोपमा उवाच वचनं मन्दं बाष्पप्रकृतिताक्षरम् इदं श्रेष्ठम् अभिज्ञानं ब्रूयस्त्वं तु मम प्रियम्.
I will ask her to sing one more time after I explain it. I want all of us to visualize it. So Hanuman says, Yadi na utsahase yatum maya sardham. If you're not inspired to go with me, abhigyanam prayachatvam. Give me some token. Raghavo janiyat. By which Ramachandra will know that I have met you. After Hanuman spoke thus, Sita from her garment opens a knot and she says, so evam uktva Hanumata Sita surosutopama uvacha vachanam mandam. She spoke softly and slowly while she is opening the knot from her cloth. And says, while she says, Valmiki says, Bhashpam pragrahita aksharam. Fantastic phrase. Bhashpam is tears. Here tears of joy or sadness, although Bhashpam generally is tears of joy, but Hanuman is about to leave. Bhashpa pragrahita, that the tears were holding every letter that she was speaking. Aksharam means a letter. Bhashpa pragrahita aksharam. So she was so much in a crying state, and she says, Idam Sreshtham Abhigyanam. This is a very special token that I am giving you. Bruyastvam, when you meet him, speak to him, Mama Priyam, my dear darling Sri Ramachandra. I want you all to close your eyes, visualize the exact what I narrated. Try and visualize what's happening as she sings this verse one more time.
यदि न उत्सहसे यातुं मया सार्धमनिन्दिते यदि न उत्सहसे यातुं मया सार्धमनिन्दिते अभिज्ञानं प्रयच्छत्वं जानीयात् राघवो हि यत् अभिज्ञानं प्रयच्छत्वं जानीयात् राघवो हि यत् एवम् उक्ता हनुमता सीता सुरसुतोपमा श्रेष्ठम् अभिज्ञानं ब्रूयास्त्वं तु मम प्रियम्.
This is the only person she has seen in 10 months who has even spoken the word Rama, and he's about to leave now. So along with what she was giving her chudamani. This is the jewel that she wears in her hair. But she's not decorating herself, so she has tied it in her piece of cloth. And along with chudamani, because what happens is, Hanuman can show this to Ramachandra, and Rama may say, it could have fallen somewhere, somebody else would have gotten it, how do I know it is Sita? So she has to give him a very confidential episode, this is the best kept secret, that only Ramachandra and Sita know, nobody else knows, including Lakshmana. So that is what she is about to narrate. She says to Hanuman, long ago when we were living in Chitrakuta, that is about 13 years ago, we were in a very special place, not far from Chitrakoot and not far from the Mandakini river. Very, very beautiful place. If you have ever been to Chitrakoot and the Mandakini river, even today, it will transport you back to Treta Yuga of that time. It is so beautiful, so beautiful. Lovely, placid Mandakini river, big banyan trees with roots coming. It is very beautiful. Chitrakoot is fantastic. During that time when we were very, very happy, all the sages and all that were not far from us, and we would visit them regularly, and Rama and I would every day have swimming competition. We would sport in the water. A lot of people think Ramachandra is a very rigid, stands like this with a bow and arrow. No. I have come to discover, and I use this phrase, that he is a hopeless romantic, but only with his own wife. So he is so playful that every day we would sport in the water. I would swim. In fact, I would swim faster than him, and I would splash water on him, and we would laugh, and the whole afternoon would pass. Such a day. One such day, we were so tired that we came out of the water. Our clothes are all wet, and we sat at the banks of the river, and I lay down on his lap, and I fell asleep. After a long time, I woke up. And when Ramachandra is sitting on sitting peacefully, a crow came up to that place. And that crow seemed to come closer to me and started to pull on my sari. So I tried to shoo him away. My clothes were wet, and as I'm trying to shoo him away, my clothes became loose and as if they were going to come down. So I'm holding on to my cloth while I'm shooing this crow, which won't go away. I picked some dirt and I threw at him, but the crow was dodging it. And the whole scene was so humorous. Ramachandra started to laugh at me. And as he was laughing, I became bashful, I became shy, went up to him, sat on his lap, and rested my head on his shoulder. He became so pleased that he embraced me tightly. Then it was his turn, so he lay down on my lap and went to sleep. And while he was asleep, this crow came back again. And this time he started to peck right in the middle of my chest, pecking and clawing at me. I tried to shoo him away, but he wouldn't go. And he was pecking hard. The drops of blood were dripping, and the warm drops of blood fell on Ramachandra's face. Toya Prahasita is there, no? I got carried away. This is Sita telling Hanuman of how Ramachandra is laughing at her. So,
त्वया अपहसिता चाहं क्रुद्धा संलज्जिता तदा भक्षगृध्नेन काकेन दारिता त्वामुपागता
Dharita Tvam Upagata. I came near him, sat and rested my head on his shoulder. So as Ramachandra is lying down and sleeping and this crow is pecking on Sita Devi's bosom, these drops of blood fell on him and his deep slumber got disturbed and he woke up and he was shocked. Blood, where is it coming from? And he saw that my bosom was bleeding. And so he tried to see who it is that has dared to attack Sita. Interesting thing is, Sita didn't say that crow. She just kept quiet. This is Sita Devi's heart. Even if someone offends her, she is not going to point such a person out. So Ramachandra is about to react for something. Now, remember I said we are all Sitas in one sense. Like we are living beings who are part of his energy, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Aparameyastu anyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho yayedam. They're all the living beings are my energy, my Shakti. So in that Shakti is feminine, so we are all Sitas. Not that the same Sita, not in that sense, but philosophically speaking, Sitas. As long as the crow was bothering her, Ram is sitting on the side, she is holding on to her clothes, throwing clumps of dirt at the crow. Nothing is happening, only thing is she is getting embarrassed because her clothes are slipping. Ramachandra laughs. The laughing is that in our life, when generally crow is compared to sin. When we are bothered by our sins, each one of us tries very hard to manage our own problems. Throwing clumps of dirt, somehow managing, and sometimes it is embarrassing. And Ramachandra can only laugh. Because, oh my little living being, you think you can manage everything on your own? How is that possible? As soon as Tvam Upagata, I went to the shelter of Ramachandra, the crow vanished and he became so happy. This is what Rama wants, that we go to him and say, please Rama, please be my protector. And when Sita was lying down on Ramachandra's lap, the crow was not on the scene. That means when the living entity is feeling sheltered by the Lord, he is very peaceful, peacefully sleeping. There's no worry. When the Lord is asleep, then the crow comes back to attack. That means the living entity's safest position is always in the shelter of Sri Rama. And this time, and when such a protected person gets offended, something happens to Rama. He became angry. This Ramachandra, who never becomes angry at anybody, became angry and immediately picked up a blade of grass that we were lying down and cursed the crow with Brahmastra.
सदर्पं संसरागृह्य भ्रामेणास्त्रेण योजय सदीप्त इव कालाग्नेर्जज्वालाभिमुखो द्विजम् सदर्पं संस्तरागृह्य भ्रामेणास्त्र योजय सदीप्त इव कालाग्नेर्जज्वाला
Ramachandra has the power that he can pick a blade of grass and make it Brahmastra. And this Brahmastra started to shine, effulgent, Jajwala, Abhimiko, Dvijam, and came right face to face with the crow. One may ask, tiny crow, do you need such a big Brahmastra? The answer is, Chanakya says, Aparada, Anurupa Dandaha. The punishment must match the offense. And the offense is the crow attacked Sita, who is his dear, dear person. It's like taking a cannonball to kill a mosquito. Why do you need a Brahmastra? It shows Ramachandra's love for Sita. As soon as the Brahmastra came in front of the crow, Ramachandra said, Sita, this crow is not really crow, he is the son of Indra, and he has dared to come and harass you while I was sleeping. I will make sure that he learns a lesson. The crow immediately turned and flew away, and the Brahmastra pursued him. This crow, because he is Indra's son, flew into the sky higher, higher, and went all the way to his father in Swargaloka. Knocked on father's door. What did the father say?
Sapitra cha parityakta suraishcha Sapitra cha parityakta suraishcha Samaharshibihi Trinlokan samparikramya Tameva sharanam
Sapitra cha, father and. Pitra is father. And cha, when Valmiki adds, it means mother. Generally, fathers are a little stricter, mothers, they say, are softer. So even Indra's wife, mother of this crow, said, that is a Brahmastra released by Ramachandra. Sorry, son, can't help you. So the crow said, oh, if mom and dad can't help, let me go to the higher realms, where the Suras, the other demigods and Devatas live. And those Suras also said, normally we protect anybody who comes to us, but that is Ramachandra's Brahmastra. Sorry, can't help. He went all the way to Brahmaloka, where the Brahmastra belongs to Lord Brahma. He said, yes, that Astra is mine, no doubt. But it's released by Ramachandra. Sorry, I cannot help you. Flying went to the Rishis. Rishis are very generous. They were so easily pleased. He asked them, please help me, my back is burning. The Rishi said, we have lot of Brahma Tejas, but none of it can match Ramachandra's Brahmastra. So the crow said, none of the higher realms anywhere, the Devatas, the Rishis, Lord Brahma, my father, my mother, nobody can give me shelter. Trin Lokan Samparikramya. He went to the heavenly realms, the nether realms, all the 14 planetary systems, tried, was tired like anything. Trin Lokan Samparikramya Tameva Sharanam Gata. Became so tired of flying, his back was burning, that ultimately he realized the only place for me is Ramachandra's feet, and came crashing down there. He was so tired. The lesson in Sharanagati is, there are certain things parents can help us, but parents are not the ultimate shelters anyway. Neither are the Devatas. or the greatest of beings or the rishis. The ultimate resting place and shelter is Ramachandra's feet. There are two ways to get there. Get there quickly or travel throughout the universe, become tired and then come there. Everyone was surprised. Ramachandra is so angry. He went to Bhuvar, Swarg, Mahar, Jana, Tapa, Satyaloka, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Patala, Talatala, still no shelter. And came so exhausted. And one of the acharyas tells us that he fell down at Rama's feet so tired. Generally, if you take shelter of Rama, our head should touch his feet. Correct? This crow was so tired, he was so clumsy that his legs were touching Ramachandra's legs. This is not proper. The intention is right, but the method is not correct. So at that time, Sita Devi, whose bosom was still bleeding, turned the crow and put his head on Ramachandra's feet. At this time, Ramachandra, suddenly his anger melted away.
Satam nipatitam bhumau sharanya sharanagatam. Satam nipatitam bhumau sharanya sharanagatam. Vadarhamapi kakustah kripaya paryapalaya. Vadarhamapi kakustah kripaya paryapalaya.
The crow fell, sa nipatitam bhumau. When we meet Guru, when we meet Sri Ramachandra, our body must fall flat like a rod, and that is called Dandavat. We casually say Dandavat Pranam Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. That is words. Dandavat, like a stick. If you leave a stick, it falls flat on the ground. That is how one must fall at the feet of great personalities like Prabhupada and the Acharyas, one's Guru and the Supreme Lord. We are being taught what Sharanagati looks like. Sharanya, he realized that Ramachandra is the only shelter for all living beings. Yesterday when we were talking about this topic of Ramayana, Vibhishana tells, Sarvaloka Sharanyaya Raghavaya Mahatmane. Raghava is the Sharanya for all beings in the world, not just Indians, not just certain type of people, but Sarvaloka. And in Ramachandra's case, it is Devatas, Vanaras, bears, even Rakshasa like Vibhishana. He is the real Sharanya. And then the verse says, as he fell down, Kripaya Paryapalayat. The anger that Ramachandra had suddenly melted away, and Rama very lovingly picked him up and petted him. Kripaya, out of lot of mercy. Another meaning of this, because this is poetry, there are so many meanings hidden. The word Kripa is a name of Lakshmi Devi or Sita Devi. So Kripaya means by Lakshmi or by, so he was really cared for by Sita Devi. She is the one who makes sure that even the offender gets shelter at the feet of Ramachandra. Even Rama can become angry, but Sita never becomes angry. Rama has conditions. Sita has no conditions at all. In all of this, Sita, one may think, is a silent witness. No, she is a very participative person. She is the one who is giving the crow a new life. And so she is the mediator. Therefore, we are taught by Prabhupada that when we come and chant the holy names of the Lord, we can't say Krishna Rama. We have to approach them through Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Oh Sita Devi, oh Radharani, please recommend me to your Lord. Please engage me in His service. And she is the one who has to first glance gracefully at us. So Ramachandra told the crow, listen, in history, any arrow I release cannot come back unsuccessful. It's called Ramban. So something has to go. What should we do? So the crow said, for my offense, you may please take off my right eye. So this massive Brahmastra that can perish the entire universe simply took out the eye of the crow. It became very subdued and we got a very tiny punishment. So apparently from that day onward, crows have only one eye. That's why they look in awkward ways. Then this crow offered respects to Sri Ramachandra, remembered Dasharatha, and went back. In this verse, we hear a word, Vadharham api. Although he was fit to be killed, Ka Kutstha. Ramachandra is called Ka Kutstha. Valmiki could have said Raghava, it fits the meter. But he chose the name Ka Kutstha. The history is one of Ramachandra's ancestor had the name Kakutstha, that king. Ramachandra was glorifying, his name is Kakutstha, to glorify that king Kakutstha. So here's the story. Many generations ago, the Asuras were fighting with the Suras. Indra on the side of the Suras was leading. And the Asuras had completely vanquished, trashed and destroyed all the Devatas. And they had become so strong that they didn't know what else to do. At that time, Indra called this king, Kakut, from the earth planet, his name is something else at that time, to come up to Swargaloka and fight on behalf of the Devatas. And he did. And while he was fighting, the Asuras broke his chariot and he didn't have a place to stand. So Indra became a bull and asked the king to stand on his back. So this king, standing on the bull, Indra, with his bow and arrow, with one foot resting on the hump of the bull. And that hump is called Kakut. And because this king was standing on that hump, he got the name Kakutstha. And Ramachandra is a descendant of that king, so his name is Kakutstha. The son of Dasharatha is Dasarathi. The descendant of Kakutstha is Kakutstha. Ramachandra remembered, Indra served my ancestor. How can I kill his son? And so let him go. This is Ramachandra's gratitude. Valmiki, in his glorification, tells about Ramachandra. He says, Kathanchit upakarena kritena tu ekena tushyati na smarati apakaranam shatamapi atmavattayah. Ramachandra is such a personality that if any one of us does one little service for him, he will remember that for eternity. Even if one commits thousands or hundreds of offenses, Ramachandra says, I don't remember it. Na smarati, he doesn't even think about it. Apakaranam shatamapi. This is the heart of Ramachandra. So if his heart swells up by one little seva, what to speak of how he will feel when we say to him, I want to be your servant. I want to dedicate my life in your service. Oh Sri Ramachandra, please accept me. So from that day onwards, the crows have a special significance. In Sanskrit, a crow is called Ka-kaha. Ka-kaha. But a Vaishnava who has some very transcendental vision tells us actually what the crow is saying, because anytime you hear a crow, what does it say? Ka-ka, ka-ka. Actually, in Sanskrit, kaha means who, for a male. And for a female, the word is ka. So these crows from that day onwards are flying everywhere, loudly shouting, ka kaha, ka kaha. Is there a man like Rama? Is there a woman like Sita? Is there a man like Rama? Is there a woman like Sita? And they've been searching and searching and searching, and till date they have never found somebody. And therefore they're constantly saying, ka kaha, ka kaha, searching and searching to find how is there anyone as compassionate and loving and merciful and forgiving and endearing like the wonderful Sita and Ramachandra. For such personalities, we will offer our dearest respects, our well-wishing, and we seek that with their beautiful eyes, let the streams of grace flow towards us, and may our lives become successful.
Ramachandraya Janakarajaja Manoharaya Mamaka Bhishtadaya Mahita Mangalam. Ramachandraya Janakarajaja Manoharaya Mamaka Bhishtadaya Mahita Mangalam. Kosaleshaya Mandahasada Shakoshanaya Vasavadi Vinuta Sadvaraya Mangalam. Kosaleshaya Mandahasada Shakoshanaya Vasavadi Vinuta Sadvaraya Mangalam. Charu Kunkumopeta Chandanadi Charchitaya Harakataka Shobhitaya Bhuri Mangalam. Charu Kunkumopeta Chandanadi Charchitaya Harakataka Shobhitaya Bhuri Mangalam. Ramadasaya Mridula Hridaya Kamalavasaya Swami Bhadragirivaraya Sarva Mangalam. Ramadasaya Mridula Hridaya Kamalavasaya Swami Bhadragirivaraya Sarva Mangalam. Swami Bhadragirivaraya Sarva Mangalam. Swami Bhadragirivaraya Sarva Mangalam.
Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Sarvam Shri Ramarpadastu. Harihi Om Tat Sat. All the claps are for Sita and Rama and Hanumanji and Lakshmana Deva.